May 29th, 2026. The Mediterranean sky turned red as sirens screamed across Israeli naval bases, while thousands of miles away, panic erupted inside American military ports in the Gulf. Within minutes, explosions rocked destroyers, fuel depots, and command centers. And according to leaked reports, Iran had just launched the largest coordinated missile and drone assault in Middle East history. This wasn't another proxy attack. This was direct war. Tonight, we break down the terrifying chain of events that pushed the United States, Israel, and Iran to the edge of total regional collapse, and how some of the world's most advanced military ports were suddenly left burning under waves of deadly Iranian weapons. For months, tensions between Iran, the United States, and Israel had been spiraling out of control. After the collapse of diplomatic negotiations earlier in 2026, Washington and Tel Aviv intensified military pressure on Tehran through coordinated airstrikes and covert sabotage operations. Iran responded with warnings, then with drones, then with missile strikes. But on May 29th, everything changed. Western intelligence agencies reportedly intercepted encrypted communications between senior Iranian Revolutionary Guard commanders discussing what they called Operation True Promise. The objective? Cripple American and Israeli military logistics in one devastating night attack. According to defense analysts, Iran believed that targeting military ports, not cities, would send a message powerful enough to force a ceasefire, while avoiding an all-out nuclear confrontation. But the scale of the operation shocked everyone. At approximately 2:17 a.m. local time, radar systems near the Persian Gulf detected dozens of fast-moving objects flying low over the water. At first, U.S. operators believed they were commercial interference signals. Then the alarms triggered. Iranian Shahed drones, cruise missiles, and long-range ballistic weapons were approaching simultaneously from multiple directions. The first confirmed impact reportedly struck a logistics terminal connected to U.S. naval operations near the Gulf region. Seconds later, massive secondary explosions lit up the coastline. Fuel storage tanks erupted into fireballs. A nearby destroyer reportedly suffered catastrophic damage as shrapnel and drone debris slammed into its communications array. Satellite footage circulating online appeared to show black smoke covering parts of the harbor as emergency crews scrambled to contain fires. And that was only the beginning. Almost simultaneously, air raid sirens began sounding across Israel. Israeli defense systems activated immediately as waves of missiles crossed regional airspace. According to open-source military analysts, Iran used a mixed attack strategy designed specifically to overwhelm Israeli interception systems. Some missiles reported carried cluster-style submunitions. Others acted as decoys. And drones flew at extremely low altitude to avoid radar detection. One of the primary targets was believed to be a major Israeli naval facility along the Mediterranean coast. Witnesses described hearing multiple explosions near docked military vessels before air defenses fully reacted. Flames could reportedly be seen rising above sections of the port as interceptor missiles streaked across the night sky. Israeli authorities quickly imposed media restrictions, but videos uploaded online appeared to show burning infrastructure, damaged cranes, and debris scattered across port zones. Military analysts warned that Iran's strategy was not random. This was about disrupting supply chains, fuel, naval mobility, and command coordination. Because if ports stop functioning, wars become much harder to sustain. What terrified military experts most was the sophistication of the attack. Iran didn't rely on just one type of weapon. They used layers. Cheap drones to drain missile defenses, cruise missiles for precision strikes, ballistic missiles for maximum destruction, and cyber warfare to create confusion during the assault. Some reports suggested GPS interference affected communications around multiple military installations during the opening minutes of the attack. Others claimed Iranian electronic warfare units attempted to blind sections of regional radar coverage. According to conflict researchers studying the ongoing 2026 confrontation, Iran has increasingly focused on saturation warfare, overwhelming advanced defenses through sheer complexity and volume. And for several terrifying hours, it appeared to work. By sunrise, the Pentagon was in emergency session. U.S. carrier groups in the region reportedly shifted into high-alert combat posture. Fighter jets launched non-stop patrols across Gulf airspace. Meanwhile, American bombers stationed outside the region were suddenly placed on standby. Then came the statement. A senior U.S. official reportedly declared, "Any direct attack on American military infrastructure will receive overwhelming response." Behind the scenes, however, officials feared something even bigger, because intelligence suggested Iran still had hundreds of missiles remaining. And closing the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil routes, could trigger global economic chaos overnight. Oil markets immediately reacted.
shipping companies began rerouting vessels, and several Gulf states reportedly activated emergency defense protocols fearing additional strikes. The Middle East was now standing on the edge of a regional firestorm. As footage spread online, the world watched in shock. Explosions, interceptors lighting the sky, warships surrounded by smoke, and cities preparing for retaliation. Social media exploded with rumors that a larger coordinated war was about to begin. Some feared Hezbollah would launch attacks over Lebanon. Others believed U.S. stealth bombers were already preparing retaliatory strikes deep inside Iran. Meanwhile, emergency meetings were reportedly held between world leaders attempting to prevent total escalation. Because everyone understood the danger. If this war expanded further, it could pull in the entire region, and potentially drag global superpowers into direct confrontation. Tonight, military ports burn. Missiles continue crossing the skies of the Middle East, and the fragile balance between Iran, Israel, and the United States may be closer to collapse than ever before. The question now is no longer whether retaliation is coming. The question is, how far will each side go before the entire region explodes into full-scale war? And if the next strike is even bigger, will anyone be able to stop what comes after?